Okay, Charlie and I worked on a few things and we've been cleaning up some of the code, so let me walk you through some of the changes. Grabber, we switched to just using a simple hook, so the file there has been deleted, as has been the grabber open and close command. Described in my last video, we were able to get the drive adjust left and right command. So now it executes a command group and knocks out a bunch of things in order. Rid of these comments. However, you can see now that if I press right on the D-pad during my normal drive command, this has to be replicated in our other drive modes. But in our normal drive command here, it will, if I detect pressing right on the D-pad, then it executes the drive adjust right command. And drive adjust right and drive adjust left will both do something very similar, and that drives to angle. We've had that built out ages ago. It's very similar code. It's just using the gyroscope to turn to an angle, and you can check that out. But the new thing is drive time reverse. So we ended up actually doing something really simple. In order to count, in order to figure out how long I want to drive backwards, I take a time parameter when the drive time is created. So you can see that here, when I drive time reverse, I'm handing it 1.5. And so now it takes that parameter here and loads it in as this command's instance variable. And we save it there so that every other method can see this object. So, same thing with the count. And so I'll run this command until count gets to time times 30. That's when isFinished returns true. So this is a comparison, and we will return the comparison constantly. And normally count starts at 0. So this will return false because 0 is not greater than or equal to 1.5 times 30. However, execute is called 30 times approximately per second. And so each time count is increased. So with the fixed value of 30 times per second execute's called, we roughly get the correct time until isFinished returns true, and then end is automatically called, in which case the power is shut down on the motor. So, and execute during the execute, not only is count increased, but we also maintain a steady negative power to the motor, and so we back up. This and tested it using our test robot. So several things have changed with our test robot. We remapped some of the motors, so that's going to need to be checked. But also what we just talked about in the drive reverse and drive, I'm sorry, yeah, drive time reverse, this, the motor configuration may be different in and things can get rewired. So anyway, we need to test all of the functions. Once we push our updated code during, we'll need to use the practice field at Buckeye to double check that all of the commands are working as appropriately. It seems really confident, and it seems easy enough that we can quickly write the disk release command. So we'll just make disk release here look very similar to how this is operating. Just a couple sequential time drive. We'll need elevator time down, so that way it just automatically lowers for a given amount of time, and then so it'll look and work very similar to drive time reverse, and we will have that sequential command here. So we'll just change this all to a command group, and because right after we elevator time down, we'll do drive time reverse and back out. So that way we can just release the disk with a single button, and we'll need to also bind that to the B button because it was just our test for this command. So we'll need to bind that there. Two things done. What I think we should do now is with our when we meet during spring break, what I think we should work on is some of the drive smooth, and more importantly, in the drive command, if I press down on the D-pad, it it flips me about. That's great. That's really handy. But it moves it with maximum possible speed. It's accurate, but it really guns it. We should smooth this out. So once our driver acquires the hatch panel, you can press 180. Once you like back out, a disk release should also no, it would be opposite for picking up the disc. We should also make a disc pickup maybe. Anyway, once I acquire the disc and I want to carefully turn around, I can press 180, press down on the D-pad, and we should just really smooth it out. And the way we'll smooth it out is just by steadily applying speed. So just executing that very slowly so we don't jerk around the motion and possibly lose the hatch panel. Pull the latest code, have a look, see at what we've been working on, and send me any questions you might have.